Good afternoon, podcast listeners. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Kat Johnson, and I'm here with the insider from Expedia Cruises, giving you insider information about your favorite cruise lines and destinations. So excited today to welcome Brian Coates from Princess. Welcome, Brian. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Kat, how you doing? It's great to be here. Super excited to join this podcast.
Awesome. We're excited to have you because Princess has a special place in my heart, as I'm sure it does for most people. You're the love boat.
Yes, yes, we are.
Can
We
you
are
tell
the
me a little
original
bit about
Love
what
Boat.
makes Princess so special? You guys have been around for a long time.
Yeah, we've been around since 1965. We started with one ship, and as you mentioned, we are the original Love Boat. And I love that we are embracing our past now with our current marketing. We kind of remixed the Love Boat theme, and that's the current commercial that's out right now. And then everything that we're doing right now is everything is about love. We're like I said, we're going back to our roots. You'll see a lot of taglines where we love this ship and we love our travel partners and things like that. So we're really embracing the love. And like I said, we started with one ship. Right now we're at 15, and we
Wow.
have a new baby coming next year, 2024. The Sun Princess will be debuting in February. And then in 2025, she's going to have her sister ship, the Star Princess, which will be arriving as well. And it's a whole new class of ship for Princess. It's the biggest we've ever had, and it's really cool to see how everything is coming along, and all of the designs and the new restaurants and lounges. It's gonna be a game changer for us in the industry.
Well, that's great to hear because I know Princess is well known that their ships are beautiful and elegant and your food is awesome. And I know you travel all over the world. I mean, your ships are in every country, every waterway. But one of the places I know that I love Princess and most people think of Princess is absolutely in Alaska. Nobody
Uh,
does Alaska like Princess.
and it's that you're right, and that's been validated by all of the different awards that we've won. We just won again at the Travel Awards for being the best cruise line in Alaska. So we want to thank all of our travel partners for who voted, because it's because of you all that we are number one and we remain number one. So it's really great that, like you said, we go all over the world, but that's our bread and butter. Alaska is where we do our best work.
Right, and there's a couple different ways that our guests can see Alaska on board Princess, right? We have Inside Passage, and then
Yeah.
there's also Voyage of the Glaciers. Can you talk a little bit about what the difference in those itineraries are?
Yeah, I mean, we have various ways to see Alaska, and everybody knows the three reasons why people go to Alaska is for the wildlife. They want to see wildlife, they want to see mountains, and they want to see glaciers. And
Right.
so with Princess, you get to see all of those. We have our 7-night voyage to the glacier experience, which starts in Vancouver and ends in Whittier, or you can do it the reverse. That's the north and southbound sailings that we have. That itinerary is amazing because you get 2 glacier stops on that route. We also have our round trip Seattle, which is 7 nights out of Seattle, and that also hits Glacier Bay. There's a ton of different itineraries. We also have our 14-night voyage of the glaciers, which is round trip Vancouver. And then we also have a trip out of San Francisco as well. That's 11 nights, and it also goes to Glacier Bay, and that's a round trip 11 nights out of San Francisco. And those are
Now,
just some of the ones that I wanted to highlight, but there's tons of different ways to see Alaska with Princess.
why would somebody choose a Voyage of the Glaciers where you go all the way up and then fly down, as opposed to an Inside Passage, which is return out of Seattle?
Well, for the most part, if you're doing one of the southbound or northbound, you're connecting with one of our cruise tours. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But most of the time, that the one main reason why folks love the north and southbound trip, even if they're not doing the cruise tour, is because you get 2 glacier stops on there. So you go into Glacier Bay, which is phenomenal in itself. And then there's also an additional stop where you're either going to go to the College Fjords and see those glaciers, or you're going to stop at Hubbard Glacier and see that glacier. So with the Voyage of the Glaciers tour cruise, you get 2 glacier stops, and that's what makes that cruise unique.
Awesome. And then when you do the Inside Passage, you still get full Alaskan culture. You get to see all the gold rush,
Yes,
what's left
yes,
over from the gold rush. You still get the feeling, just not quite so
right.
much, correct?
Exactly. So you still hit Ketchikan, you still hit Juneau, you still hit those cities, and you still get that feel for Alaska. You do get a glacier stop. You either go to the Endicott Arm and Dawes Glacier, or you hit Glacier Bay with the Inside Passage as well. So yeah, the folks who are doing the one way or the north or southbound, they're getting two glacier stops, but we're not cheating you. You're going to see glaciers on any of the cruises that you go on with us.
Now, you touched a little bit on our cruise to or your cruise tours, and
Yes.
that, I mean, there's no better way to get immersed in Alaska than being able to actually go off the coast and deep into Alaska to see those amazing sites like Denali. You get to see Kenai Peninsula. I mean, I'm
Mount
sure the wildlife
McKinley.
viewing out that way.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it's one thing to see the cities and to see the glaciers and whatnot, but to truly see what Alaska has to offer, you got to go inland. And the best way to do that is with us, with our cruise tours. Like I said, they're attached to the north and the southbound 7-night Voyage of the Glacier cruise. And the best part about us, which kind of makes us a little bit unique with our cruise tours, is a couple of things. One is we get off in Whittier. So when you get off the ship in Whittier to get onto the railway to get to the parks, it's literally yards away. Like if you were to stop in Seward, you would have to, that's a whole day of traveling to get to where you want to go to get to the lodges. So for us, it really gets you to the park sooner, and it gets you enjoying what you need to see a lot earlier.
Right.
Um, the other thing that separates us is that our lodges that we run, they're all princess owned. They're owned and operated by princess. So the feeling of service and food and everything that you experience on board is seamless. That feeling and that service is transferred over to the lodges. So everybody there is a princess employee. So it's all seamless, and the same feelings and the good vibes that you had on board the ship, they carry over onto land with our lodges as well.
Well, and I can speak to that because I've actually been in on an Alaska cruise tour with Princess, and you really have the feel of being on board without actually being on the ship. I mean, your lodges are spectacular, and you think about some of these smaller places that you're going to in Alaska that probably doesn't have the accommodation options if you were to just go on your own and take a look around,
Right.
but the lodges are
Absolutely.
beautiful and
Yes.
very well maintained. The service is spectacular. The food, oh my goodness, I gained so much weight when I went on my cruise tour because I could not stop eating. It was so fabulous, which
Yes.
might be something we should talk about a little bit. What are the different package options about somebody who is going on an Alaska cruise tour?
Well, we have four different options for those that are looking to do group cruise tours. They vary in length. So the shortest is 3 nights, and then the longest is 8. And you can do these either before the cruise or after the cruise. So when you're looking to do it, you just let your travel associate know, hey, I want to do my land prior to my cruise or after. And so that's one way to set that up. And then we have the four different types of cruise tours. There's the Denali Explorer. There's the off the beaten path, which kind of takes you to some of those places where a lot of people really don't go. And then you have our connoisseur tour that is kind of like the all inclusive type of tour where you have a guide with you and everything else. It's the more expensive of the options, but it's our highest rated because the food is included. There's a guide with you. And then the one that we have is called the On Your Own. And we really don't recommend that. That's really for the folks who really know their way around Alaska.
Right.
One of the gentlemen that I work with, his name is Ted Knight. He is the BDM in Central Florida. He can do it on your own because he's been to Alaska 60 times. So that guy, he can guide all of our cruise tours on his own. And
Right.
then, like I said, those are the options that you have when you're booking the cruise tours.
And another important thing we should probably talk about is transportation because Alaska is vast and trying to travel to all these different places. Um, the roadways are spectacular because you're going between these lodges now. But
Mhm.
really, it's a little bit of a trip. So having a nice coach to travel to these
Yes.
different places is really important, and that's what
Yeah.
Princess does as well as a rail. Can you talk a little bit about your coaches and your rail tours?
Yeah, we have top-notch coaches that get you around to wherever it is you need to go with the different lodges that you're transportating to. It's really a seamless process. Like the night before, you put your bags out, we take the bags for you. So you just move along and just jump on the coach and get where you need to go. There's two different rail options. We have our regular rail service, but then we also have our destination wilderness trains, which are that's those are the ones with the glass dome cars, where the top part is for sightseeing and viewing and seeing all of the sights that you see on your way to or from the ship. And then the bottom part, the second floor, is where the dining cart is. That's where all the dining happens, where you get your meals and things like that. So you have all of those different options. So make sure that when you're booking those, you know what you're asking for and what your clients want, because that's what's going to, highlight the trip for them.
Right. Now, Princess has some unique things that you like to do for your guests when you're in Alaska. Can you talk a little bit about really what makes Princess so special and why you're obviously number one in Alaska because of it?
Yeah, it's called our North to Alaska program, and that's basically us bringing. Not only are we taking you to the places in Alaska, the cities, and you're seeing the glaciers, and you're going to the lodges, and you're going to the national parks and everything else like that. But on board, we're trying to bring the Alaska experience on board, and this is for all ages too, because we have a partnership with Discovery Channel. So we have a Discovery at Sea program that's on board for the kids, because Alaska is really a multi-generational
Absolutely.
type of experience. That's what grandma, grandpa, mom and dad, and the kids, everyone is going on board. And so part of our North to Alaska program is really it's bringing Alaska on board the ship, and that's with the cuisine, because we are giving you Alaska cuisine on board, and all of the restaurants, the menus are tailored to all of that, because you have your Alaska food, and then we also have our typical princess menus that we have, but we're throwing an Alaska touch into that. And that's also in the specialty dining restaurants as well. So you're going to get your feel there as well. And then we also have our catch to cook program, cook my catch program, where if you're doing one of the excursions and you're out there, who all my fishermen out there, who I know a lot of people in South Florida love to fish. You catch whatever it is you catch, you bring it on board, and then the ship staff prepares it for you however you
Wow,
want it.
that's so
You know what I mean?
awesome.
That's really cool. We also have uh, through our partnership with Discovery at Sea, we bring the Northern Lights on board the ship, and we basically turn our theaters into a planetarium. And
Oh, wow.
that's really really awesome for those who want to see it and experience it and learn more about it. I know I do for myself. That's a bucket list item for me. And then finally, it's the puppies in the piazza. They
That's
bring the
everybody's
puppies.
favorite.
Everybody loves that. They bring the puppies on board. Everybody gets to mingle and play with the puppies, and they're always a hit when the puppies are on board, and that's
Right. You
really
can't
really
take them home with you though, right?
no, you can't take them. You can't take them home. A lot of people wish they could. They've asked, but you got to leave the babies there.
Right. And now, before we leave, we really do need to talk about one of the things that makes Princess special, not only in Alaska, but all destinations that you travel to,
Yes,
is your medallion class cruising. Can you explain a little
yes.
bit about what that is?
And I definitely can, because I just got off my first Princess cruise this past Sunday, and I can tell you I got my medallion right here. I actually got it right there. That's my medallion,
There,
and this is the little
nice.
piece that I bought to carry my medallion around while I was on board. And working for the company, and I hadn't really been on the ship and experienced it yet. So I was selling it and talking about it, but to really experience it was very, very cool. This allows you to, there's no key cards or anything like that. Everything you need on board is through this little thing right here, you know. And I loved it because I love to eat. So, and they put me right under the buffet. They put my room right under the buffet. So I'm going upstairs and I'm grabbing some food, and then I'm bringing it back down to my stateroom. And I have my hands full of stuff. And the sensors on board recognize who you are and where you are. So when I get to my room, I didn't have to click anything to unlock it. It automatically unlocked my room. I was able to click with my elbow and get right on into my room and enjoy my little snacks. We have our medallion class app, which allows you to do to order your food on board through the app, and they deliver it to you wherever you are on the ship. So
Wow.
there were a couple of times I'm hanging out by the pool. We did this. It was a seminar at sea, so I'm there with our travel partners, and we're talking about all of the places that we traveled to. And in my mind, I'm like, I want a pina colada. Get my phone, bang, 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 order my pina colada. Boom, we got pina coladas at right there at the hot tub by the pool. So it was really, really cool. It's very, very unique. It's my first time experiencing it, and I cannot wait to take my family on board and have them experience it as well.
Well, I love Princess. I hope everybody listening now realizes why Princess is so special and so unique in Alaska. What a great opportunity to take families and multi-generational families, all the different things that you can do, and just have like a unique and wonderful vacation that you know is going to, exceed your expectations. So,
For
if
sure.
you're interested in booking your Princess cruise, please reach out to your Expedia Cruises OVC travel consultant. We are well versed in Princess. We can help you out. And thank you, Brian, for being with us today. We appreciate your time.
Kat, thank you for having me. And thank you guys for your support. We truly appreciate how you guys support us in everything that we do. So you're great partners, and I truly appreciate you having me on.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.